Hey guys, it's Naya here, and I'm back with another video. And today it's a sit down video. And today I just wanted to talk about how I wasted my teenage years. I'm 20 years old. I turned 20 on December 5th. So I've been 20 for like 2 months now. And it's kind of like I had a quarter midlife crisis. And I really realized how much time I was wasting trying to fit into everybody's expectations and life instead of just being myself, and just trying to be a people pleaser and just trying to give myself to everybody else except for myself. So let's get straight into it. I didn't go out with any friends. The only time that I went out with friends is probably for a birthday, or it was always involved with other, with adults or something like that, or it was just always constricted. So I really didn't really want to go out. Plus I had a really strict mom. Love you, mom. She did her thing, but because she was so strict, I really felt like, okay, I can't go out here, I can't go do this, I can't do that, but my mom likes this girl, but she's never available. You know what I mean? So I would never go out with friends. I would just stay in the house and just be in the house. The only time I would go outside is probably for dance class and school. So a lot of the time I wasn't really interacting with other teenagers, which really hindered me from being able to communicate the best that I can now. It takes a lot for me to be able to be confident, to speak to other people, to stand up for myself now, because I really didn't have any interactions unless it was with my mom present and my mom would speak for me. So it would be a lot of situations where I really didn't know what to do when I was not with my mom. So that's when I went to college, it was a total different ball game. It's girl, you have to stand up for yourself because these people will eat you alive. So because I wasn't going out with friends, I just wouldn't go out at all. And that's really what messed me up, because it's girl, you're always just in the house. You don't have no experiences. You're not doing anything that you really like to do. And when I stopped doing dance classes, it was even worse. So now all I'm doing is going to school. And I didn't get a job, so then I really didn't have any interactions outside of that. So it was just really tough just learning how to communicate. Now as an adult, it's hard. And I'm still learning as I go. I felt like if I wasn't accomplishing something like that, I was failing at life. Literally, if I just was even just painting, right, I would literally feel like, is this going to give me money? If it's not, then I probably shouldn't do it. Is this going to level my life up? Yes or no? If not, then I can't deal with this. I would feel like I was wasting time every time I would have fun. And I used to want to be a dancer, and professional dancer or a dance teacher, and I kind of went a whole different route because family members would say, oh, how is dancing going to make you money? That's not going to get you nowhere. And even YouTube and stuff, it would be oh, if you're not you got to go to college to do this, da da da. And so I would have pressure of feeling if I'm having fun, if I'm doing something that I really like, it's most likely not going to get me far in life, so I shouldn't do it. And that took my happiness away and things that I really like to do away from me, when I should have just been thinking about myself and not how other people view me. Letting other people dictate what I thought about myself and what I thought was good for me. I had to be way more kind to myself and be it's okay to just go out to eat and not it be a business thing. It's okay to paint and you not getting thousands of dollars from it. Like, I don't have, like, I can go on a walk and I don't have to be walking anywhere or trying to make it somewhere. Like, I could just walk. And yeah, the little joys that I could have had just by just doing things that I wanted to do, it really held me back. Like, it had me in a spiral of, like, always thinking like I wasn't doing enough. Any type of happiness that I had just made me feel guilty. I felt like if I didn't include others in my activities, I was selfish. I always felt like somebody had to validate what I was doing. So, like, if I go to the park, I have to invite my cousin with me. Not because I'm scared, not because of none of that. It's just like, I can't be having fun by myself. Like, I have to include somebody else. Like, if I'm having fun and somebody having a bad day, I'm being selfish. I need to stay home and I need to be sad too. Like, if any of my friends was sad, crying all day, like having a horrible week or something, I would feel like now I gotta deprive myself from happiness because they're feeling bad, and I don't want them to feel some type of way because I'm feeling good. Which was told, like, I used to internalize other people's feelings and would make it my problem when it wasn't my problem. And although I'm a healer and I'm a helper, I'm a giver, I did it to the point where take from myself to give to others. I was so drained, so mentally drained, because I wouldn't do things that I wanted to do. I just would be like, oh my God, like anything good that I got, say if my mom bought me something, whatever, I would want to hide it because I wouldn't want somebody to be jealous of me or like feel like I have too much. And I should have just, instead of thinking about how other people felt, I should have just appreciated what I have. And if the person doesn't have what I have, it's not my fault. And like, all I could do is be there for them, but I don't owe them anything. Because I was skinny, I felt extremely insecure and would wear pants and sweaters to cover how skinny I was. So yeah, I used to get really bullied bad. Like, for example, like in elementary school, it started in elementary school. I was very tiny, very skinny, but I was a little tall. I remember one time I was wearing this skirt and this person was like, one of the kids was like, your legs look like chicken legs, and just kept saying it. And I would ignore them because I'm like, all right, ignore the negativity because you ain't talking to me. So middle school, I remember, like, this is so bad. I'm like, in middle school, like, I really like this boy or whatever, but like my friend had told them or whatever, and I remember he was getting smart or something because he was mad that I didn't want him, like, because he said he didn't want me. So I was like, I don't care or whatever. So he was mad, some petty stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, that's why I don't like girls up here to me. I like them down here. And mind you, I was still mad shorter than him. Like, I wasn't, like, what, like, I was probably like, I was like a head shorter than him. Like, I was at his shoulders, so that's pretty short. Like, he made it seem like I was so freaking tall and I was just not his type. Like, and I internalized. Then there was like another situation in middle school where another friend went to a boy, told them, oh yeah, would you ever date Naya, da 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 da. They're like, oh no, she too skinny. Look at her, she too skinny. Oh, I need somebody with a butt and all this stuff. And I didn't cry. I felt it in my heart, and I was like, dang, like, I'm really too skinny. I'm too tall. And like, on top of that, I still had like a little insecurities with my skin color. They used to tell me how I looked, and I would really look in the mirror and be like, wow. And then also, like, throughout like middle school and elementary school, like, people would ask me, are you anorexic? Do you eat? And I'll be like, yes. And these same people were probably heavy set and probably had their own insecurities, and they couldn't call me ugly. So you could call me skinny, you could call me skinny, call me too tall and all this stuff. That's the only thing you could say. So yeah, like it was just really a bad experience, and I would internalize those different things, which made me start to cover myself up. I didn't want nobody to see my legs. Like, I was highly insecure about that. It's like I never thought about myself, and it's okay to be caring and loving and thoughtful, but it's one thing to give your all to everybody, but never filling in your own cup. I wasn't giving myself to people that were giving back. They were giving me half, or breadcrumbing me, or even just blatantly disrespecting me, and I would still deal with their, I don't know, I just equated love with struggle. I thought love and people caring for me was okay to be inconsistent. Like, one day my friend could be mean to me, the next day she can be nice, and I would accept that, instead of being like, yo, like, you hurting my feelings. Like, or even instead of addressing these issues, I would just distance myself. So I kept myself quiet, not because I was scared, it's just because I felt guilty. I felt like I didn't deserve to be upset with anything. I thought if I felt upset that, like, I'm being ungrateful to God, I'm being like, I have all this stuff, so why would I complain about somebody bullying me? Or why would I feel the need to be more happy? I got all these things. Just thought like all these feelings were always permanent when they're really temporary. Being sad for one day doesn't mean every day before this day was bad too, or the days that's going to come after this is going to be bad too. You just having a bad day, it's not the end of the world. Like, or like even 17, I would think the same way and be like, all right, I'm like, I don't have a job, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that enough, da da da. And I just felt like I would never find happiness or peace, and which is not true. So just because right then and there I wasn't feeling like I successful enough doesn't mean that in the future I won't be. Like, we all just, as teenagers, as just young women and men, we just needed to be a lot more kind to ourselves and realistic, and notice, okay, we're young. Like, we don't need a BMW, or like, you don't need a BMW or like a mansion or anything like that right now. Like, that's not normal. That's not normal to have, but it can happen for you. But if you don't have it, that's okay. Just be grateful for what you have now and don't take it for granted, because life can be a lot worse. I would scroll on TikTok and YouTube for hours instead of making content. So like, I would waste hours of my life. I would be like, yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. I would have all the equipment, everything, and still wouldn't make YouTube videos. I would occasionally do it when I felt like it or whatever, but I would spend most of my time wishing that I was making a video instead of just doing it. Like, and I think my issue was being afraid to be seen, being afraid for people to judge me, being afraid, not even about the judgment, but just being afraid that people will hold me too much to a high standard. And I'm like, dang, I'm still at 50 subscribers. Like, I'm never gonna like, this is embarrassing. Like, I would be more embarrassed of my process instead of being patient with myself and thinking, girl, you just started. Like, you don't need a million, you don't like, a million subscribers not just gonna pop up from you not doing any work. So I would just wish things instead of actually going after my dream. And as you know, faith has feet. You can't just sit around and just pray to God and think that God's just going to give you stuff. No, God's going to give you things, but you also have to put in effort sometimes. Like that, He's not a genie. You have to put in the work for the life you want to have. Like, instead of being the one watching, be the one making the video. Be the one putting out the work. It's like I would overanalyze every YouTube video that I would make, and it would really stop me from making the video. Like, it could be like a drawing video that I wanted to put out, and I'll be like, is this like the other people's stuff? Like, I was afraid to be myself. I just thought what everybody else was doing was right, and if I pivot out of that, it was wrong. And some people that know me probably would have been like, wow, she really thought that way, because she like really does what she wants to do. But no, a lot of things I would tone down just to fit in. I would put a lot of people on a pedestal. So also my friends, like, I would like hold them to a standard. I would just think they were, instead of looking at them as human, and that they can make mistakes and that they're not always going to be perfect, I would look at them as like they are perfect, and almost as if I'm lower than them. And I don't know, is like, so if they treated me badly or said anything that I didn't like, I would just let them do it, instead of being like, yo, that hurt my feelings. I would just think that I wasn't worthy of respect, consistency, or unconditional love. People are people, no matter if it's your mom, your dad, your grandma, your brother, your sister. Although they have a important place in your life, they still are human, and they're gonna make mistakes. And you can't, if somebody fails you one time or fails you a few times and about the same thing, don't keep having them make the same mistake. Like, all right, so say if you know somebody is an inconsistent texter, like they're not good at texting, but all you do is text them, and they're telling you, hey, maybe you should call me instead because I'm not a good texter, but you continue to text them and you get no replies, and now you're mad because they are not texting you, but you could have just called them. So it's like, you can't put somebody in a place where you know they're going to fail you and then get mad when they fail you, but they told you, I'm not good at this, or I just can't, I cannot offer this to you, but you're mad. Instead of, you can't get mad at somebody if they cannot provide something. Like, you just have to either do it yourself or you can get it somewhere else. There's always other people that can have different strengths. So yeah, with friends, I would just give my all. Oh, you need some chips? Oh, I'll bring you some chips. Oh, you need me to meet you here? I'm gonna come right there. I could be spending my last dollar trying to get there, or even just spending my time, like literally just being on the phone with people for hours and hours and hours, and not really doing anything for myself, to the point where I'm just like, where's my days going? Like, where's my time going? So I would just feel like I needed to help people and I needed to give my all, or I would be abandoned, or these people wouldn't be my friends anymore. I would just be surrounded by people who was very like, they just needed somebody to validate them. And I was always there to do that, but I wasn't getting what I needed. I think they thought because I never said anything that was wrong with me, they really thought like, probably, oh, she doesn't have any problems, but I did. The thing that I regret most is that I just gave my all to people who wouldn't do the same for me. And I had to learn that the hard way. And yeah, when I did deserve a lot more. And you know what I want to say is that, we all play a part in our own misery. And sometimes our thinking patterns, we don't notice how toxic they are until we get out of them, or until we move forward, or are by ourselves. Then we can really be like, dang, that was really messed up. Like, I could have done this better, or what they did to me was wrong, but also I could have left multiple times. Or, you can't just keep blaming people for how you feel when you keep putting yourself in a place to get hurt. And yeah, I spent my teen years just worrying and worrying and worrying about how everybody felt about me, and that caused me to live so cautiously, which is good, which I didn't really have a chance to do anything bad, but also that made people feel that I was perfect. And then they started to act like, oh, now if I make a mistake, it's the worst thing ever. And yeah, I feel like I could have did a lot better with just choosing me, loving me more than I love to be loved. Everybody just be kind to yourself. And you guys that's still in your teens, be kind to yourself. Stay focused on what really is important. And really think about what you want before you think about how everybody else feels about you. Because in the future, you're gonna wake up and be like, dang, what did I do for myself? What did I accomplish? Was I just helping everybody else accomplish things, or was I really helping myself? There's so much you could do for yourself in 24 hours than to be spending all your days trying to improve other people. You're never going to get anywhere helping other people. Only other people. You gotta have a balance of, okay, I'm gonna help them, but I also gotta make sure I'm cutting out time for myself. That's the end, you guys. Comment down below any more questions or anything that y'all want me to talk about, and I'll get back to y'all. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my Instagram and my TikTok. And yeah, we're out this thing. I had a great day. I hope you had a great day. Bye.